Good morning and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. I'm just going to jump right in here and tell you what's happening because I don't have a lot of time today. Have you ever completely forgotten that you were hosting guests for dinner? Well, I did. Today we had planned to have my children come over for our Christmas dinner because Christmas has been very rushed. And I have a kitty cat wanting to join in. So what I am going to do is just show you my quick go-to for a quick meal. So hang with me and I'll show you what I got. Okay, you will see here that I have most everything in a package. I have a Carver ham. It is, let's see, how many pounds? It's 3.32 pounds. I'm cooking this in the Instant Pot. I am going to be making a glaze out of apple juice and brown sugar to put in here. I'll show you how I do that. I just ran and purchased these maple bourbon mini sweet potatoes. It's probably just going to be me and my two daughters and my youngest daughter's fiance. So it's not going to be a lot of us, but I will do the sweet potatoes. I don't think everybody likes sweet potatoes, so I did get packaged mashed potatoes and jar gravy. I can't make gravy for the life of me. I know how to make it, it just don't turn out right. And my cheater is I'm using stovetop stuffing cornbread or cornbread stuffing. I will be dicing up my green onions. I have an onion. Well, I have several onions. I dice my onions up and freeze them. So I'll be taking that out. I'll be using butter and I'll be sauteing this. I will be using some of my homemade chicken broth and making a dressing, so to say. I have a can of yams. I'm going to be making like a glazed yam, or I may even try to make, they have the recipe here for the sweet potato casserole or yam casserole with the marshmallows on it. I have everything to make it, so I'll probably make that. I do have dinner rolls, Sister Schubert's dinner rolls in the freezer. I'm cooking everything out of a package today. The only thing that's going to be homemade is my chicken broth that I'm putting in my dressing. And I'll bring you guys along for that. Stay with me. I am about to get my onions and we're going to get them sauteing. I have about a tablespoon of butter in my cast iron over here getting ready to saute my onions. I'm getting my green onion prepared. When I prepare green onion, I just check to make sure all the leaves on it look good and they're good and firm. And these look really good and fresh when I picked them up at the grocery store this morning. So what I'm going to do is just line all of my onions up here and just start chopping them. I've got to chop that root end off of them because we don't want that. I just cut that off and then I start making it into, I don't mind my onions being in a little bit bigger piece because it is going in my dressing and I am sauteing it. So I'm going to cook them down until they're close to translucent. And I like a lot of the green onion. I even like the green part of the onion. So much flavor. You'll probably see I'm cutting all the way up the onion here. And that's because all of that is still crunchy. So as long as it's still a good crunch to it when I cut it, I use that. So I'm going to go on and dump this onion into my cast iron. Now that I have my green onion going, I'm going to get some of my diced onions. I do a small dice, and I'm just going to get a cup of it. That's about the size of a small to medium onion. which will be enough because I am using the stovetop as my cornbread. So I know it has a lot of seasonings in it too. That's why I'm not adding salt in with my onions. I guess what we can do is kind of time this. It's 10:33. I guess I started this about 10:30. So we're going to see how long this takes me to whip together a lunch. My children should not be here until 1:30, so we'll see. Okay, I have downsized the pan that I'm going to be doing because I only had one box of stuffing, and that's not enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm still browning my onions over there. I'm going to put 2 eggs in my dressing. That's kind of going to be my binder. Like I said, I'm stirring everything up in here. I did spray my pan, so, but I'm getting this. Now, this is just a winging it. This is not a recipe. I am just doing what I remember of dressings, and I know I have to have sauteed onions in it. I do have my chicken broth here. This is homemade chicken broth. It's going to be too much for this, but that's okay. I'm going to look in my fridge to see if I have a smaller jar or one open already. I did not see one in there already, so I'm just going to open this jar, and I've got to get my onions over in here. So one moment. My onions are still browning, so I'm going to move this to the back along with some of my other things, and I'm going to get other things started. Now, I keep a stash of these pans in my laundry room or pantry area. Some are in pantry, some are in laundry room. What I'm going to do is going to get started on the potatoes, because I know this is one thing that one of my daughters really loves. And I wouldn't mind just candying these, but she really likes the casserole. And I have a jar of marshmallows over here that I can use. So I think I have an electric can opener, but this is what I always run to. I don't know why. Because it's just right here and it's closed. So let me read the instructions. We need this drained. Okay. Let me drain my potatoes. Okay, here's my drained potatoes. I drained those right onto my floor. So let's see what this calls for. Now, I know my daughter likes the mushed up yams, potatoes, whatever, but if that's not what it says to do, I'm not going to do it. I'm just doing quick. Okay, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of butter, salt, large marshmallows. Heat oven to 350. Mix salt and brown sugar, combined drain can. I'm just putting it all in this. It'll be okay. Okay, it calls for 1/2 cup of brown sugar. This is 1/4 cup, so we'll just put 2 of these. I'm okay with just throwing everything together, if you have not noticed that. Okay, so we need 1/3 cup of butter or margarine. So I have a stick here of butter. It's roughly a little over 6 tablespoons for 1/3 cup. I am going to cube this and just drop it in there. Not even cubing it, I'm just cutting it in chunks. Because like I said, we're trying to do a time saver here. So I am going to spread my sugar out. I'm just going to put pieces of the butter in here, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Our recipe calls for large marshmallows. All I have is mini marshmallows, and I'm just going to dump as many as I can. Let me get things out of my way. I vacuum seal my marshmallows so they stay fresh and soft, and they kind of stick to one another when you do that. Makes them a little difficult to get out, but they stay soft. Okay, we need to have our oven heated to 350. It's not heated yet, but it will be. And then I am to put this in the oven. This is bake until golden brown, so hang with me. Okay, I now have my onions. Can't think right now. In my dressing mix here. That was the perfect amount of onions for this little bit of dressing. Now what I'm going to do is pour some chicken broth over it, because I like a moister dressing. And this isn't going to be a very big dressing, but I've poured. I've poured the chicken broth over, so now I'm going to cover it with a tin foil. And I'm not putting meat in it because we're having ham. So I will pop this in the oven at 350 with my other casserole. The next thing I will be doing is preparing my brown sugar glaze. I'm going to use a cup of apple juice. And I can't recall if it said a cup or half a cup of brown sugar. I'll use a cup. I may not use a full cup. I'll just check. Do it by ear, kind of, so to say. I'm taking my little sugar savers out. I love those things, y'all. This is 1/3 of a cup. And honestly, I think that may be what it said to use. The reason I'm trying to get everything done so early, because I know I told y'all it was 10:30. It's 10:55 now, and I almost got everything started. Nah. Let's put a little more sugar in there. I know it called for a cup of apple juice. Let's go for a full cup of brown sugar. Okay, that's all I'm doing is a cup of brown sugar, because that's way more than enough sugar for my family. Now, I'm not doing the ham just yet. I still have I've never done these potatoes before, but we're going to see what they're like. It says you microwave these 5.5 minutes, so I don't have to do these until right before time. But let me see the instructions. Remove sleeve and seasoning packet. Place tray in microwave. Do not remove or puncture film. 5.5 to 6 minutes on high. So that's what we're going to do. I did notice there's only 4 sweet potatoes in that, so there's going to be at least 6 of us here. Oh well, it'll be okay because we have the other potatoes. And we're going to have mashed potatoes. I don't know if I'm going to do mashed potatoes. That's too many potatoes. But I will be doing garlic parmesan string beans. I do have a child that does not like string bean casserole, so I will make these. Let's see how they say to cook these. Stove top or microwave. So we can preheat 1 tablespoon of butter. So these only take like 9 minutes. So guys, we are looking at right now half an hour, and this takes like 10 minutes on the stove. I could do it in the microwave even faster. And this is going to take like 10 minutes. Let's see. It says you'll need 2 to 3 minutes per pound of ham. This is a 3-pound ham. So just say if we do 3-pound ham, 9 minutes. That's all we're cooking it for is 9 minutes. So technically, I could put the green beans and the ham on at the same time. I'm going to put the ham on a little earlier because it has to build the pressure, then release pressure. But guys, that'll be it. That'll be our whole dinner. So hang with me. We're going to get this Thanksgiving. This Christmas dinner done fast. Another thing I have to do is my rolls, and they take 7 to 10 minutes. So we could put the beans on the stove, these in the oven, and the ham in the Instant Pot, and they'll be getting done close to the same time. So I'm about to get it done. Our potatoes in the microwave are done. What I'm doing now is I'm going on and getting my ham started, because I do need to put a glaze on it. We got to come to pressure and all that. So I am getting my ham out. I already have a cup of water in my Instant Pot. I am to place the ham on baste the ham with the brown sugar glaze. Now, they're under the understanding that the brown sugar glaze came with the ham. Mine did not. So I am going to have to create a bowl here with my tin foil. Because I do not want glaze everywhere. I think what I'm going to do is just go on and put this down in my Instant Pot. This is wrap the ham tightly. So let me pull this back to me. It is on a tray. There's a cup of water down in the bottom. I'm just going to pour this. Now I have the fat side up. I think that's enough. So what I'm going to do is turn this foil. And my hands are so sticky from messing with all this brown sugar and apple juice that, ugh. I'm going to say this is tight enough. Okay, so I have this now ready to go. We are to set the timer for 9 minutes. And I'm guessing it's high pressure. It's set on sealing. It is on seal. I have set my ham for 10 minutes because it's like a 3.37 ham. I have it going. I'm about to get my green beans started on my stove. What I am going to do is use the same pot for my green beans as I used for my onions. That'll transfer extra flavor too. And we are back. We actually finished cooking our dinner around, I'm going to say about 11:30. I have not taken the ham out of the Instant Pot yet because I want to keep it warm, because my children will not be here until 1:30. But we did finish everything at about 11:30. So in an hour, you can have a full meal. I have a ham. I have sweet potatoes. They're maple bourbon sweet potatoes. I'm doing a sweet potato casserole, garlic parmesan, string beans, and rolls. So all of that has been made, and most of it is out of a bag. So guys, if you are running short of time, don't feel guilty about it. Go get the items you need, even if it's in the frozen section. You can still have a very nice dinner with friends and family. You don't need to feel guilty about it. Just do it. You'll have a good time, because it's really not about the food. It's about making the memories with your friends and family. So guys, if you are still here with me, give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, go on and click that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. What's your quick go-to meal when you have very little time to cook for a group of people? It's not going to be a large group of people, only 6 people. But when you have a group of people and you just have not had time to prepare for it, tell me what your go-to is. I do respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, have a very blessed day. Goodbye.